So let's talk about the final day of Cassie's testimony. So the final day of Cassie's testimony from the defense team was yesterday. Ventura basically detailed the 10 year to 11-year relationship that she had with Sean Combs, describing physical abuse, coercion, manipulation. She testified that it was orchestrated with many people participating with drug-fueled encounters. She referred to them as FOs, and she often stated that yes, their relationship was very turmoil. They did have a trauma bond. She had a trauma bond with him, and I feel like she did have some Stockholm syndrome, where basically she felt sympathetic for her abuser. She did also state that she did not have love for Combs anymore, but she did have a love for the past. And I believe what she is implying is that the past, even though it was horrific, it is what shaped her and made her who she is. She's had to deal with obviously a lot of obstacles and battles, and she's still healing from all these obstacles and battles. But maybe if she didn't experience this, maybe she would have never met her husband. Maybe she would never be in the area that she was now. She also said that during these FOs, it did have a lot of preparation. I was able to record a little bit, but not fully, because yesterday I had so much going on with my family. So basically she said that there was a lot of preparation in creating these FOs, and we have to really understand the dynamic of the whole, how this racketeering is getting involved. So he has a social circle of staff members. These staff members work with him to create these events, bringing large quantities of baby oil and other items such as illegal substances. So Cassie's basically setting up how it wasn't just him creating these events to take place. It was his whole staff. It was his whole people working for him, how it was definitely a full circle of other individuals. She did state that she would forego, meaning the final financial and final compensation, she would get rid of it if it meant she never had to participate in FOs. If she had to do it again and they said, would you do this again for this amount of money? She'd say no. Even though she acknowledges that she has had settlements from both Sean Combs and also from the hotel of that 2016 video. And the total areas of compensation is probably around 30 mil. She says the money doesn't really, if she could start again, she probably wouldn't have gotten involved with him, knowing what she knows now, regardless of the amount of money she was compensated. I think it's very interesting how they are basically playing like this whole money factor into it. I definitely feel like, yes, money was a tool that Sean Combs used to control her, but the control was always there. The abuse was always there. The rugging was always there by him giving it to her. And yes, she did do it consensually, except for the one time that that she acknowledges. But when you introduce drugs to such a young mind, and she acknowledges this, that mind has to go through a lot of processes to heal. And what's also interesting is just the dialogue that has to do with her husband, like her husband saying that he was very frustrated and it was upsetting to hear all of the things that she went through. But we also have to remember that she met him when he was a trainer for her, and also while she was in this relationship with Combs. So for everybody to say and have the speculation that her husband didn't know is ridiculous. Obviously he knew, and that's why he always stood 10 toes down on protecting his wife. He often even said that he was very proud of his wife after he had a statement. He also spoke out saying that he hoped that her actions would inspire others to speak up about events that occurred. I definitely see how giving a 4-day testimony and also being 9 months pregnant on such horrific incidences and events in your life could be quite challenging, and I definitely give her a lot of respect. I think many women would not want to go through living that pain all over again. And I think that her husband's very admirable for standing not just with her, but also standing up for her when people were saying, oh, he must be so mad, or, you know, I mean, obviously he's so mad about what has happened to her, but that doesn't mean that he's so mad at her.